BeerZerker! Alright, we got the Fiji bitter here at 4.6%. This is a lager from the Pacific island of Fiji. Okay. Well, had a bit of a blowout. I opened it and it's just like, I didn't shake it, I swear. I just took it over in the liquor store real nice. Had it in the fridge, just sitting down, sipping for a while. Just opened it right on thing with an opener. It's not my fault. They overfilled it. I'm blaming them. So, alright, so it's a lager from Fiji at 4.6% and 375 milliliter stubby. It is different tasting, bitter, but it doesn't taste like bitter to me. It just tastes a little bit weird. Really strange head and lacing I'm noticing. It's kind of a strange effect there. Kind of an interesting mouthfeel. Kind of smooth and grainy at the same time. It's a little bit weird. Getting kind of a Pilsner-esque hop flavors here. A lot of sweetness in the back. Bit of a tang to it. It is different. It is that. The finish is really weird. Like the beginning, it starts out really nice, and the finish is nice too. But that's where you really get a lot of the differences from it being a typical pale lager. Of course, here's your color shot. Typical gold, lacing quite well for a lager, and yeah, it was a really good price too. Like for something imported like this, and it only being $3 in Canada, with their insane liquor taxes and shit. So whatever. That's a pretty good deal for that store. This is probably one of the cheapest beers in the store, so I thought I'd give it a shot. It's really hard to describe. The hops are really kind of manic in it. They're kind of here, there, and it's a great kind of a burn with the carbonation in the beer is pretty good, and it kind of a smooth mouthfeel. And as for the bitter, I don't know. That must be like they're talking about with the hops and that. I'm just finding it's kind of a unique hop profile. Maybe is creating this. It's the only real guess I have. Yeah, and really strange sweetness with the malt as well. So I'm not sure. It doesn't give an ingredients list on here that I'm noticing. So we're kind of in the dark there. Yeah. Anyway, it is different if you want to try a different tasting lager than your typical domestic pales or your Euros. You want to kind of find something a little bit different. This is definitely what you want to try. A little bit of sour in the back too. Bitter and sour, and I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to guess hops. I mean, I don't know what else to guess. Or whatever yeast. It might have a really original, kind of strange lager yeast going on here, which could maybe explain some of this. And hops, strange yeast maybe is creating this strange foam and lacing and strange flavors and tastes. They're saying the esters
So the one thing it does say on the bottle is it's about the esters, which is a product of the yeast. So maybe that's what they're trying to tell us here. Maybe that's their logical explanation and their brewing expertise as to what happened here today. We'll never forget this. Hmm. Yeah, I can see esters because I am pulling a little bit of banana out of that, and homebrew guys know that that's a product of your yeast or brewing at the wrong temperature to getting a super rapid fermentation or too slow a fermentation. You can get it tasting like apples or bananas or cloves. In case you may notice that with your Belgian beers, um, they ferment extra hot Belgian beers. Your lagers are typically fermented cooler than your ales, and then your Belgians are actually fermented warm, kind of like how some guys like to do homebrew wine. So that could have something to do with their flavors as the temperature they're brewing at, and that could even be where the bitterness comes from, is from the yeast. It may not have anything to do with their hops, but the hops were quite Pilsner-esque and kind of not as hoppy as a lot of real extreme hoppy Pilsners, but it was kind of branching out that way. That's as much as I can do for you. You just have to buy the fucking beer and try it. It's pretty good, $3. As for a rate, I don't know, I'd say it's interesting, it's original. It was a good price. It's imported. It was kind of, good that I still got it for $3. And I'd say probably an 8 out of 11. Not a problem there, giving it an 8. And it's definitely worth a try, especially if you're going to get a singles. Do her up. BeerZerker in a mute.